All right, good evening, everyone. It's 6 o'clock. We'll go ahead and start tonight's meeting. Let's first take roll.
Commissioner Lede. Commissioner Calandra. Commissioner Diaz.
Here.
Commissioner Kreiner. Commissioner Shergill.
Present.
Vice Chair Bray. Chair Vane.
Here, thank you. We'll go ahead and next we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. Everyone, please stand. Ready? Begin. I'll go ahead and read the procedures for tonight's meeting. This meeting is being conducted in person and electronically. For each matter considered by the Commission, there will first be a staff presentation, followed by a presentation from the project applicant. Testimony from supporters of the project would then be taken, followed by testimony from those in opposition. The applicant will have the right to a final rebuttal presentation prior to closing the public hearing. In accordance with Section 13 of Article 2 of the Planning Commission Rules and Regulations governing length of public debate, all public testimony from those in support and opposition of the project will be limited to 3 minutes per person. The 3 lights on the podium next to the microphone will indicate the amount of time remaining for the speaker. The green light will be turned on when the speaker begins. Yellow light will come on with the soft bell ring when 1 minute is remaining. The speaker should be completing the testimony by the time the red light comes on with the final bell indicating time has expired. All in-person public testimony must be presented to the Commission at the podium. Any testimony that references race, religion, ethnicity, economic status, national origin, or any other classification protected under state or federal law in a derogatory manner shall be deemed irrelevant and will not be considered by the Commission in making its land use determinations. If you challenge these land use matters in court, you may be limited to raising only those issues you or someone else raised in oral or written testimony or before the close of the hearing. Do we have any changes to the agenda?
Good evening, Chair Vang, members of the Planning Commission. I'm Israel Trejo with the Planning and Development Department. We have no changes to the agenda. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Do we have a motion, comments by the Commission to accept the agenda?
Motion to accept.
Okay. We have a motion made by Commissioner Diaz. We have a second by Commissioner Lede. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say no. Motion's approved. Under consent calendar, we do have some meeting minutes for March 5th and March 19th. We have any comments from the Commission, any motions to accept the consent calendar? Okay, we have a motion by Vice Chair Bray. Do we have a second? Perfect. We have a motion by Vice Chair Bray, a second by Commissioner Shergill. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say no. Consent calendar is approved. Any reports from the Commission? I see none. All right, we'll move to new matters. This is a new matter ID 25448. Consideration of plan amendment application.
I apologize. May I share something, please?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
Sorry about that.
You're fine.
Just want to share west of 99, they actually got a grant to fix the roads. So there were a lot of community members. They actually gathered at the T Community Center, and then a lot of the community members came in, and then they shared their views, where they want the streets to be fixed, especially by the school zones, where the elementary schools are, middle school, high school, also adding sidewalks for the children so they can easily commute from their school all the way up to their houses, and also kind of collaborating with the county as well, because there are a lot of county islands within the city. So that was, I would say, that was a very positive meeting that the community had, and then a lot of positive feedback, especially making Fresno beautiful. So just wanted to compliment the community on that.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, we'll go ahead and move to new matter ID 25448, consideration of plan amendment application number P2301117.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the Commission. My name is Juan Lar with the Planning and Development Department. And tonight, staff brings forth consideration of Plan Amendment Rezone Application, Track Map Number 6441, Plan Development Permit Application, and the related environmental finding. These applications were submitted by Precision Civil Engineering. The project site is located on the south side of East Belmont Avenue in between North Armstrong and North Temperance Avenue. The planned land uses surrounding the site consist of business park and low-density residential to the north, medium-density residential to the west, low-density residential and commercial to the east, and medium-density residential and low-density residential to the south. The land surrounding the subject properties are vacant rural residential properties, public facilities, and single-family residential properties. The proposed tract map will comprise of 30 single-family residential lots on approximately 3.9 acres. The proposal also includes a plan amendment rezone request, proposing to change the planned land use from residential low density, which allows 3.5 to 6 dwelling units per acre, to residential medium density to allow for the 5 to 12 dwelling units per acre. The project proposes a residential density of 7.69 dwelling units per acre, which is consistent with the residential medium density of 5 to 12 dwelling units per acre. The planned development permit requests modifications to the RS5 development standards, which include to allow for reduction in setback, lot size, and increase in lot coverage. Further details of the request can be found in your staff report. From the request to deviation of the code, staff would like to note that from the request from the deviation of the code, the front yard setback from 13 to 10 feet, staff would like to note that for this project, there is a condition of approval requiring any homes proposed at 10 feet setback from the front yard to comply with a minimum of 5 to 15 of the enhanced streetscape requirements. This was a requirement due to the last finding of the plan development, which states, the proposed development is demonstratively superior to the development that could occur under the standards applicable to the underlying base district and will achieve superior community design, environmental preservation, and/or substantial public benefit. Staff feels requiring enhanced elevations would be consistent in providing a demonstratively superior development. This project was also reviewed by the Council District 5 Project Review Committee at its regular scheduled meeting on August 14, 2023, and was voted for approval 3 votes to 1 without any recommendations or comments. This project was also reviewed by the Airport Land Use Committee at its regular scheduled meeting on on December 4th, 2023, and was voted for approval 7 votes to 0 with no additional comments or recommendations. On the screen is a narrow view with a map overlaid over it just so we can see what the proposal would look like once it's developed. That said, staff recommends to the City Council adoption of the environmental document and recommends approval. This concludes staff report, and we're open for any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lara. Do we have any questions from the commission?
Do we have the builder here?
We do.
Oh, okay. So I just have a question about the pricing. What kind of homes do they want to build?
Okay, I'll leave that to the applicant.
Why don't let's see if there's any other questions from the commission.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Let's please have the applicant.
Good evening, Chair, Commissioners. My name is Bonique Emerson with Precision Civil Engineering, and I represent the property owner for this project. Before I respond to the question, I do want to say one thing. We concur with staff's recommendation with the exception of one condition of approval, and that's condition number 32, that's related to the requirement for a enhanced streetscape to allow for the reduced front yard setback from 13 feet to 10 feet. So as part of our requested plan development application, we originally requested a 5-foot setback, but we're willing to, we would like to request to modify that to 10 feet rather than 13 feet. And this is consistent with what was allowed in the subdivision directly to the west of this subject site. So that tract map was allowed to have a 10-foot reduced setback through the plan development process rather than through the enhanced streetscape process. And I do believe that allowing that 10-foot setback, we would still meet the findings of the plan development application as discussed by staff. So we believe that the proposed modification, including this 10-foot setback, will provide superior community design by providing potential homeowners and the city at large with another option to achieving home ownership. The proposed subdivision creates housing that is affordable by design, meaning that the overall housing costs are less than traditional subdivisions because they are smaller and more efficiently designed, while still providing traditional single-family residential living. So we believe that allowing the 10-foot setback through the plan development process, we would still be achieving the requirements of the plan development application. So that's the only condition, that's condition 32. We just request that we be allowed to have the 10-foot front yard setback as part of the plan development application. And in regards to the question on pricing, so unfortunately, the property owner was unable to make it. She had a death in the family. But speaking on what I know about the plans moving forward, they don't have a specific builder yet. They're still considering next steps. So they don't have a price point. But it would be probably similar to what the homes are selling for in the tract directly to the west, which are, the last time I looked, those homes were going for around between 400 and like 475. So it would be probably in that range, and that's just a guess based on the neighborhood, and it would be most likely a similar product. And I'm here to answer any questions if you guys have any of me.
Thank you, Monique. We have any questions from the commission? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Before we go to the public staff, question for you guys on that conditional 32. What's your guys' perspective on that, moving it from 13 to 10?
Yes, so as Juan had stated previously in the presentation, that is based off of making findings for plan developments. This is the last finding, if you look at that findings. And again, it specifies that, and I want to read it verbatim, the proposed development is demonstratively superior to the development that could occur under the standards applicable to the underlying base district and will achieve superior community design, environmental preservation, and/or substantial public benefit. Generally, when you do a plan development, there's some form or feature of the development that exceeds the standard requirements. What's being proposed is a reduction of those standards. Although the project does not require open space per the code, because it's less than 50 lots, if that was provided, that would exceed the standard requirement. The proposed subdivision to the west that was mentioned adjacent to this project had majority of lots at about 70 feet in length, which also would help to allow for a smaller home product or a larger home product with less setback. Here it's 94 feet. Also, they had about approximately 4,812 square feet addition of open space than what was normally required. We could make the findings for those reduced setbacks to 10 feet. Here, we could not find an enhanced landscape area that was exceeding the minimum requirement of 15 feet or the open space, any proposal whatsoever. We feel that the enhanced streetscape, which allows for enhanced elevations than what is for normal, would then allow for approval to make the findings for the plan development. And that's where the condition stems from.
Got you. Go ahead.
When were these standards, the superior standards, when were these requirements set? Do you have a date?
Well, for the enhanced streetscape, it would be, they would submit elevations to planning, and we would review the code. There are 15 items available to choose from, in the enhanced streetscape. We are requesting that 5 of those, which is the standard to allow for us to make the findings. That would come when they submit those elevations to us, and we would review for approval. We would make sure that that is done prior to any building permit approval.
Okay, so I was just asking in case these were newer standards as opposed to something that's been existing already.
This has been existing since the code was updated in around 2017.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, we'll go ahead and go out to the public. Do we have any individuals who would like to speak in support? Go ahead. No? Okay. Any individuals who would like to speak in support? All right, we'll go ahead and go to the public. Any individuals who would like to speak in opposition? All right, I see none. We're going to close all public comments. We'll bring it back to the commission. We have any comments, questions, motion from the commission?
May I please, I have a question for the builder's rep. So may you please elaborate on the reasoning, why do you want to lower it to 10 instead of 13? Like what's the justification for that?
So it's to allow for more flexibility. These are very small lots, although they are longer, 94 feet as was stated. The lots are about 3,500 square feet. So we want to make sure we have options for the future. So allowing the 10 feet will give more flexibility for future homes on those sites. Because it's going to be difficult to, even though they are longer, it would allow being able to encroach into the front yard. That 3 feet would allow for more options for housing development, so for more floor plans.
Will that benefit the people who want to reside there, especially with the pricing, with costs they keep on rising? Will that benefit the buyers or the people who want to live there, the families?
Yeah, because it allows you to maximize, have more square footage on the lot. And if you look, I don't know if you're familiar with the development next door. It's almost, I think it's completely built out or close to being built out. There are, I want to say, this is a guess, but maybe 20% of the homes there that have around a 10-foot setback. There's bigger setbacks, but it gives more option and variety within the housing development. And you could see in that development, the bigger front yard you have, it's essentially wasted space. So it's always better to try and push the house forward slightly so you can have a bigger backyard. So the preference would be to have that 10-foot setback. Now, there's still an 18-foot garage setback. So the garage, you'd still have an ample driveway for parking, but allowing the house to be closer or have the reduced setback, it creates more options for future homes on the site.
Yeah, you actually answered my question because I saw some homes in Clovis. You can rarely park your Silverado. I mean, it's literally on the street. I'm like, how can you prove that? Because with the bigger vehicles, right? So people do have, like, if they're able to park their cars, even trucks, they'll be able to park them.
Yes, it's 18-foot setback, which is
Okay.
the requirement. We're not requesting a modification to that.
Okay, good. Okay. Thank you.
I have a question. Oh.
Yeah, go ahead.
And just to confirm, the setbacks will not make any difference with the width of the street or the sidewalks, correct?
No.
Okay.
No impact.
So just to note, that truck you saw was approved by City of Clovis, not City of Fresno, right? Okay. All right. Just joking. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, with that being said, go ahead.
Thank you. I just want to add one thing. We are allowing for them to not utilize the enhanced streetscape by utilizing a 13-foot setback. That is still an option. This is just if it went to 10 feet, that's when the enhanced streetscape would apply. I just want to clarify that there is an option not to utilize the enhanced streetscape requirements. And staff has those if you would like to hear any of the enhanced streetscapes. Thank you.
Can you tell us about the enhanced streetscapes?
Sure. There are 15 items. I can go through them all, but I'll just go over a few just so you have an understanding and idea. It's quite a lengthy list. But essentially, it's enhancing the property, whether it's a driveway or elevation materials that help it become a better quality product. That can include an 8-foot door, front door, shutters, lintels, sills, awnings, decorative trim or architectural treatments on front street-facing windows, ornamental architectural elements such as medallions, keystones, or quatrefoils, Juliet balcony, decorative eave treatments like cornice moldings, medallions, a front porch with a depth of no less than 5 feet. So you can kind of get an idea of what we're asking for with just 5 of those things. Thank you.
Right. Any other questions, comments, or motions?
Me, I have.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
That's fine.
Would you please step up? So in essence, are you asking that if we approve this without condition 32, that you would want the more narrow or the setback to be 10 feet without doing the enhanced streetscapes?
Yes, that's the request. So there's, initially, we had submitted the application for the enhanced streetscape, because initially we were just looking at smaller lot size and then having the reduced front yard setback. And staff recommended that we go with the planned development option, just because it allows a little bit more flexibility in what's submitted up front, and we agreed. And there was never an indication that we wouldn't be able to get the 10-foot front yard setback with the planned development, because that's standard. I mean, like I said, we actually worked on the project next door and submitted that planned development application and got approval for the 10-foot setback. So we didn't realize until last week that we weren't going to be approved for the 10-foot setback through the planned development process.
Okay.
And it's just, it is they are cumbersome requirements, they enhance streetscape requirements, especially because we don't know who the builder is going to be, and it just ties the hands of future developers to doing a lot of enhancements to elevation. So, you know, they definitely want quality on the site, but there's very strict requirements that kind of tie, like I said, tie the hands of future developers.
Okay, so you're not saying that this is something that will for sure not happen, but it'll tie it up and that it still may happen?
Yes, again, it limits the potential developers for the property if we have restrictions put in place ahead of time.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we have any comments, questions, or motion from the commission? So I'm going to go ahead and make a motion. So I'm going to go ahead and go with staff's recommendations as is. Okay, so that's going to be my motion to approve, adopt, and go with staff's recommendations as is without the condition, well, with the condition 32.
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion made by me, a second by Commissioner Diaz. Let's take roll on this one, please.
Commissioner Lede, Commissioner Calandra, Commissioner Diaz,
Yes.
Commissioner Shergill,
Yes.
Vice Chair Bray,
Yes.
Chair Vane.
Yes. Motion's approved. Thank you. Next item, before we go to next item, any commissioners have any disclosures or comments?
I do. I would like to disclose that I believe, I hope I'm not wrong, but I believe I was contacted on a phone call in regards to this item, but no conversation was contemplated or call taken.
Thank you.
And for this next item, I will need to recuse myself based on a gray area of potential financial interest within 1,000 square feet.
All right. Well, is it okay, since this is the last item on the agenda, is it okay if she,
Yes, so long as we still have quorum,
okay.
she may go.
Yes, as long as we retain quorum to the end of the meeting, yes, the commissioner may actually leave the building if you would like.
Have a good one. You do have to make up the hours. Just kidding. All right, so This is for item ID 25442, consideration of an appeal regarding the denial of a conditional use permit application number P24-01344.
Good evening, Commissioners. I'm Eric Young with the Planning and Development Department. The item under consideration tonight is the appeal related to the denial of conditional use permit application number P24-01344. The subject application was filed by Yeslam Hamed, and it pertains to A's Family Market. The application requests to establish a Type 20 alcohol license, and that would be for the sale of beer and wine. A's Family Market is an existing 3,290 square foot market located on the west side of North Hughes Avenue between North Weber and West Shields Avenue. The surrounding properties to the north, east, and west are predominantly developed with a mixed multi-family apartments as well as single-family residents. And the properties to the south, southeast, and southwest are predominantly developed with a mix of commercial retail consisting of restaurants, service stations, grocery stores, as well as industrial-type businesses to the west of Weber. Zoomed in a little more on the aerial map, A's Family Market is located within a small commercial strip mall. It shares parking with an existing laundromat next door, as well as 2 restaurants. As you can see, the establishment is within proximity to residential apartments to the north and west, and single-family residences to the east. Elevations are shown here, and they're also attached as Exhibit F. As you can see from the elevation exhibit, the signage and advertisement for a meat market and fresh produce exists on the front facade. And to provide a little bit of background on the subject property, the site has historically been a market with alcohol sales. It was granted under a conditional use permit C94-86. Most recently, the market was operated as Primo's Family Market, and that was owned and operated by a different business owner. In August of 2018, ABC revoked the alcohol license following a shooting that occurred inside the market and subsequent investigations from the ABC agents and Fresno PD. In April of 2020, the applicant purchased the store, took over the operations, and renamed it to A's Family Market. The subject application being considered tonight, conditional use permit P24-01344, was filed for purposes of reestablishing an off-sale alcohol license, in this case, a Type 20. And the application is subject to the Responsible Neighborhood Market Act, also known as RNMA. The floor plan shown here also included as Exhibit F. As you enter the store, on the bottom of the exhibit, you have the front counters to the left, refrigerator displays to the right, then 4 rows of shelving. One of those rows contains a produce case cooler and a 3-door freezer, and followed up at the top, there's the proposed meat market. It's important to note that the operational statement and the floor plan provided with the application did not depict specific products to be sold and their locations within the establishment, nor did they specify the area for alcohol to be displayed within the establishment. The following photos were submitted with the application from the applicant. Here you'll see kitchen and pantry items such as juices, baking products, cooking oils, Another picture shows that refrigerated produce cooler case with the fresh fruits and vegetables. And the picture on the right shows more convenience store items, candies, nuts. Some more pictures, again, those kitchen pantry items, plates, cups, plastic wraps, sugar, syrup, coffee, and tea products, as well as personal hygiene products. The image on the left shows the proposed meat market area. And the image on the right, again, we have more of those kitchen pantry goods, sugars, peppers, salts. The project, as it was proposed, it meets the definition of a general market, but it does not meet the definition of a full-service grocery store. The difference being general markets are usually smaller in scale. Full-service grocery stores, they'll have a larger variety of grocery components, maybe a bakery, seafood area, things to that like. The project did not meet 4 of the location restrictions set forth in the RNMA. The first location restriction, the sensitive uses, it did meet. The establishment is not located within 1,000 feet of one of those sensitive uses, a school, park, playgrounds. The establishment did not meet the second location restriction, which is near other off-sale alcohol establishments. There are currently 2 existing active off-sale licenses within that 1,000-foot. The subject site also is within a high-crime area, according to the data that we obtained from the ABC office and the Fresno PD. The establishment is located in a high-crime area. The establishment also is located within an over-concentrated census tract, specifically Census Tract 37.02, which allows for 4 off-sale licenses. It currently has 7. Approving this application would make it 8, 4 over the maximum off-sale licenses. And the citywide ratio, the project didn't meet that ratio as well. It exceeded it. Based on the ratio, there should be 1 off-sale license per every 2,500 residents here in the city. Based on the current population, there should be no more than 218 off-sale licenses. The city currently has over 500. So it does not meet 4 out of the 5 location restrictions. This is an image of the subject census tract. Here we have the borders of the census tract. We have the locations of those 7 active off-sale licenses I mentioned. It also shows the 2 existing licenses within the 1,000 feet. That would be the You Save Liquor, which currently has an active Type 20 license, and the USA Gas and Food, which currently has an active Type 20 license. The RNMA does allow for exceptions to be made to the location restrictions. You must meet all 4 in order to be accepted from the location restrictions. As it's detailed in your staff report, it was determined the project does not meet exception A. The exception states, based on the quantifiable information, Chief of Police has determined that the proposed use would be detrimental to public health, safety, and welfare of persons located in the area, or would increase the severity of existing law enforcement or public nuisance problems in the area. The RNMA also provides an exception from the location restrictions, that being the full-service grocery store exception. As I stated earlier, the project does not qualify, does not meet the definition of a full-service grocery store, thus does not qualify for this particular exemption. I want to go back and mention that staff did conduct a site visit on March 31st, this past Monday, and it was observed that there were no fresh foods, fresh produce in the store at that time. The application was reviewed by the Council District 1 Project Review Committee, who ultimately recommended approval for the project. And a notice of intent to take action was mailed to surrounding property owners within 1,000 feet. No responses were received by staff. The FMC, the Fresno Municipal Code, requires specific findings to be made in order to approve a conditional use permit. Here are the findings for that. Findings A, C, and D could not be made due to the application not meeting location restrictions or the exceptions to the location restrictions. The application for the ABC license was denied on February 6, 2025. The decision was appealed by the applicant. A notice of public hearing was then mailed to the surrounding property owners within 1,000 feet. And on March 31st, 2025, the Planning Division, we received a letter of support from Council Member Annalisa Perea. Staff recommends Planning Commission deny the appeal and uphold the action to deny the application. However, should the Planning Commission choose to approve the application, the exception A specifically to the location restrictions must be made. Planning Commission also needs to amend CUP findings A, C, and D, as well as adopt our draft environmental assessment. And that concludes staff presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Questions?
I do have a question. Can you elaborate on the full-service grocery store?
Typically, the ones we see around town, the larger, the Save Marts, the Vons, Walmarts and Target are kind of going in that direction. But those larger scale with large variety of grocery components, all of your fresh produce, vegetables, as well as a meat market, a deli area. Full service grocery stores often have a bakery, seafood area, things to that nature. General markets don't have all of those, a little smaller in scale.
Philip Segrist is going to elaborate on that. Recently, as you recall, we updated the RNMA to provide more clear definitions of different kind of grocery stores and food retailers. So if you want to go through what that's...
Yes. So there is definitions for both, a description for general market as well as a definition for the full-service grocery store included in the staff report. I also think it is available on a slide. So Carrie, if you could please go back to the staff report or presentation. Okay. So, okay. So the top one is a general market, and that is a use, and that's described as a retail food market. Food and grocery items for off-site preparation and consumption. You go to the store, purchase the food, grocery items, prepare meals off-site. That use typically includes supermarkets, neighborhood grocery stores, as well as specialty food stores such as retail bakeries, candy, nuts, and confectionery stores, so that real kind of specialized store. It also includes meat or produce markets, vitamin and health food stores, as well as cheese stores and delicatessens. That classification also includes small-scale specialty food production, such as pasta shops and retail sales. Alternatively, the new definition for a full-service grocery store, which is what was introduced into the code under the most recent text amendment to the Responsible Neighborhood Market Act. I think it came before the Planning Commission fall of just last year. That's defined as an establishment generally known as a supermarket and other grocery retailers, doesn't except for convenience retailers. And that's primarily engaged in retailing of a general line of foods such as canned and frozen foods, fresh fruits and vegetables, and fresh and prepared meats, fish and poultry. Included within that industry are also delicatessen type establishments engaged in the retailing of a specialized category of food products, such as foods from a specific country, ethnicity, or locality that's not often found in a general market. And that definition also excludes limited service restaurants, convenience retailers, gasoline stations with convenience stores, as well as larger department stores or more specialized pharmacies or drug retailers, and also warehouse clubs such as Costco and supercenters, which are all other general merchandise retailers. So it's sort of confusing. All full-service grocery stores are general markets, but not all general markets are full-service grocery stores. And so we've determined that this doesn't quite meet the definition of a full-service grocery store, but it does meet the description of a general market. And probably provide a little more clarification, and I think what Eric was trying to present, the full-service grocery store is going to be what you generally would consider, you know, the Vons, the Save Mart, even like a grocery outlet where there's generally specified areas, a bakery, but you know, it doesn't have to always include all the entire departments.
Thank you. Questions? All right, thank you. Appreciate it. Do we have the applicant?
Hello, good evening. My name is Yaslam Hamed. I'm the owner of Ace Family Market. I just want to talk a little bit about the store, what it offers, and then answer any questions you might guys have.
Can you speak more into the microphone? That would be great.
Can you hear me now?
That's better. Thank you.
Okay. So the store has been operating since 2021, since I took. Thank you. Yeah, he's gonna. The landlord is gonna do the presentation. Okay. So the store has been operating since I took over in 2021. We were not planning on selling beer and wine. We were just a general supermarket. But as the years pass by, it's becoming harder with rent going up, with PG&E going up. It's hard to survive without beer and wine. So just about the store is about 3,000 square foot, and the services we offer there, we have a meat counter that sells all meats and seafood and all that. Produce section that sells all fruits and vegetables. Dairy sections that has milk, cheese, eggs, and etc. Frozen section that sells canned fruits and vegetables and frozen food. Also, other services we offer are a payment center where you could pay your bills like PG&E, the city, credit cards, money orders where people could pay their rent, money transfer, and check cashing. Also, we have a section that we in the future like to open as a cold kitchen just to sell healthy stuff where we could sell salads, sandwiches, and stuff like that. The only thing I think we don't have that the supermarket has is the bakery, like they say. All the other stuff we do have. It's a smaller store, but we do have all those services. Let's see. I would also like to add that I met with the District 1 committee meeting, and they all were in favor of that project to be approved. You guys have any questions?
Commissioner Chego, go ahead.
So my question is, when you bought the store, it did not have the beer and wine? When you bought it?
When I bought it, no.
Okay, So what I heard from your presentation that it's more hardship now for you because the rent has gone up?
Yes.
Okay. I also heard, from the city that there is a crime in the neighborhood, right? Safer neighborhoods are also important because your employees, probably including yourself, you're probably at the store too. Do you think, I just want to hear your perspective, do you think if you get the beer and wine at your store, at your place, would that even increase the crime?
We'll try our best not to increase our crime. We have installed many security cameras for the store. We have LED lightings. We're willing to work with any conditions the city might have with the police department that they require to operate and to get that beer and wine license.
Did you also have a meeting with the Fresno police or other representatives about this?
I've tried to get hold of the police department and meet with them, but I had no luck to meet with the police department and explain to them. But I'll be more than happy to meet with them, but I just had no luck meeting with anybody of them.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I do. Based on your budget, what is the percentage of the sales of the alcohol that you think
What
we will bring?
the sales of alcohol?
Yeah.
It's going to be.
That it would be, if you have a budget, yes.
Just estimated probably like 20-25% to 30%. People nowadays, they just like to do their shopping in one place. They don't like to go to one place and get their beer and go to another place and get their meat and other stuff. They just like to do all their shopping at once, so it's more convenient for them. Okay. Also, I would like to add the two nearby places that sell beer and wine are both gas stations. They don't have any services that we offer. They're just both gas stations that sell gas and just drinks and beer.
All right. Any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
Would you be able to tell us, you've owned it since 21, how many police calls have you needed there?
Not even one. Not even one. Yeah, we haven't had any problems with the police department.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you. Also, the landlord is gonna.
Yeah, that's fine. Can I ask this staff a quick question? Incidental. What's a percentage in regards to it being incidental, like the sale of like alcohol? Do we have like?
I mean, in the code, the municipal code, there isn't a clearly defined percentage of incidental. They need to demonstrate that based on generally the square footage of floor area dedicated to alcohol sales versus area dedicated to other retail items, food, et cetera, that it's clearly incidental and wouldn't necessarily be considered the primary source of sales.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And also, I'd like to add that staff from the police department are also in attendance and can answer any kind of questions that the commission might have about crime.
All right. Thank you very much. Go ahead, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I am Dr. Kayla, the Chief Medical Officer of Valley Health Team for 30 years. I am the landlord of the building of 2717 since 1989. The liquor store, it has been there for over 40 years. I've been having that property for 36 years. The store was sold 3 times. Unfortunately, the last one who bought it in 2017, he is not from Fresno area. He is from Ventura. He's a big businessman. He brought unprofessional young people to work in the store. Unfortunately, something wrong went into the store. The liquor license was suspended, and he's supposed to sell it to Circle K within 1 year. Unfortunately, he didn't come to sell it. He didn't come to sign to get his money, $100,000. So at that time, it was revoked. So when it was revoked, he didn't even come to open the store. The store stayed 3 years there. It gave me bad time to see the homeless sleeping in front of the store. I have to be called to bring a sign and put it there. Nobody can sleep in this place. And we went to the police, and we have the sign, and we went and we gave it to them that the sign was posted there. Now, Yaslam came in 2021. He is my patient for 22 years from San Joaquin. I have the confidence in him to run the store. Last year, he found a beer and wine license, and he applied for it a year ago, almost a year ago in April. The denial came about 6 weeks ago, so that's why we reappealed it. The store doesn't make money for him without having beer and wine as the necessary for the people to come and shop there. We have 285 apartments behind us, and we have an open access for them on the north side to come walking to the shopping center, buy their things, and go back. This is less traffic on the streets to be going back and forth. I don't want to put hard liquor in my store. I want to have beer and wine. But in order for him to keep his doors open, we need the beer and wine to be installed for necessity purposes. This is one issue. Second issue, if the store is closed, we're going to start dealing with the homeless again. When I bought the store, it has only one building there. On the south side, there were a lot. I put a laundromat, and I put a taco. On the north side, I have 4,000 square foot fenced lot. It is a garbage hub for the apartments behind me. Everybody who wants to move from outside of the apartment, they dump their furniture on us. And it cost me about $1,500 to $1,700 a year to keep the store cleaning. So I was talking to my friends and to my engineers in order to keep that area beautiful and better. For the north side, I'm going to put 3 stores, which is the donut shop, pizza place, and hair shop. So this way, we clean the north side. But I can't continue with my project if the store is not stable, because the store makes me about $4,000 a month, and it helps me to continue my project. For me, I'm going to invest in that area at least $1 million to make it beautiful. I don't want it to be a hub, garbage hub for the apartments. And here I am asking the commission, planning commission, is to help us to keep the store open, and also I'm going to invest to have 3 families living from the other businesses. So I would like to thank you very much for letting me talk to you, and I would like you to consider the thing. I am with the safety all the time with all the public. I know there was some problems before, but since 1989 until now, I know we used to have some problems. We used to have some gangs, and we dealt with it. It cost me now, the last couple of years, 3 years, it cost me about $200,000 to facelifting it and to fix the parking lot. Now I'm working on the other lot on the north, is to make it look better and more safe for the people. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, I am here.
Was there supposed to be a slide presentation, or? Okay.
Oh, I didn't see it. Okay. Yeah. Look here at the garbage from the apartments behind us. Next, how do you do next? Here? You got it? Okay. Can you go next? Look. These are the apartments behind us. But the city came 2021 in March and helped us to clean the garbage because there was a lot of garbage, and they saw that there is a problem, and they cleaned with us the graffiti inside. The graffiti is costing us a lot of money. I have my maintenance man here who could tell you how many times he comes to the corner here to clean it. So I look for the future. The future is going to be better than we have dealing with the garbage. But I can't go to the next step if I don't get the grocery store running. This man, if we go out from here and he doesn't have it, he's going to give me the key in the back. So he's not going to continue anymore. You know, I don't like him to continue either, because if he can't make it, why he should be standing there? He stayed there 41 months, and for the 41 months, he just pay the rent and pay the electricity. That's all. He doesn't make any more money to take his home. Thank you.
All right, do I have any questions? Questions? All right, thank you.
Sure.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Thank you for letting.
All right, we're going to go out to the public. Is there another representative?
Yes.
Okay.
Good evening, board members. My name is Paul Dictos. I've known Dr. Keller for the last 40 years. Dr. Keller is an immigrant like me. He came here with nothing. He's the chief doctor in a company called Valley Health Team. Valley Health Team was created back in 1973 by Mr. Sal Gonzalez, Sal Gonzalez's father. I was the first auditor of that company, and I'm very close to the family. Dr. Keller is a good family man. He raised a good family. He has been going to the shopping center, every other week. I've been there with him many times cleaning it up. He has a plan to really build more units there. He's going to improve the place. The city is not going to improve the place. He goes out there and cleans up the place himself. He's a doctor. Right now, he has a valuation of $1.2 million. The assessed valuation is $887,000. The taxes are close to $12,000. And with his planned expansion, which is going to be $1 billion something, I expect the tax to go up to about $35,000. Now, this is money that comes into the city. 65% of that money goes to the schools. 40% comes to the city, 30% goes to the county, and 9% goes to the special districts. We need development. Nobody will do it. He has the money, but he has to have a business that really creates revenue. He just lucked out. He had a tenant who was not a good tenant, and he messed up the area. But now he has a good tenant. Mr. Yeslam is an immigrant too. He cannot have a Costco, but he can have a small mini market to make a living. These are poor people that want to make a living. So let's help them. I'm in support of ID 25442.
All right, so with that being said, I'll go to the public and start opening the conversations for anyone who would like to speak in support of the CUP, okay? Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much.
Go ahead. You're going to have, state your name, address, and I'll give you 3 minutes, okay?
My name is Kirk Brew. I live at 2690 North Weber Avenue, right in back of the store. The guy that was there was trouble. You know, he's a youngster. You know, didn't use his head. But with the store being open, it's easier for me sometimes, especially when my cancer was flaring, for me to walk to the store and get the fresh fruits and vegetables. Well, they don't have it anymore because the store's not making any money. The store's, the shelves are emptying out more and more, and there's no money to replace what he has. I hate to see, what's going on because of someone else's fault. They've been responsible. There's been no police calls. I visit them, almost daily at the store. And it's just a shame to see this happen because of a decision someone else made. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other individuals like to speak in support? Please state your name, address, and you have 3 minutes.
My name is Jesse Williams. My address is 34781 Squaw Valley, Sunflower Lane on Squaw Valley. I work for Handyman Services. I've known Dr. Caleb for about 10 years now. We work for cleaning up the graffiti and the trash that's constantly being dumped there. We've worked on the store when the other tenant had the store and seen the customers that coming in. A lot of them coming in from from the apartment complex. And when we go there now and the store's not open because they can't make enough money, a lot of the people are just crossing the street jaywalking, a lot of kids. And it seems like if the store could be profitable again and add these extra, the donut shop and the hair shop and the pizza shop, that maybe there'll be more eyeballs there keeping people from dumping trash and homeless from laying on the sidewalks and painting the graffiti. It seems like it'd be better for the community there. But there has been a lot of just trash and graffiti, and even with the dumpsters, and they would go and fill the dumpsters up. We'd put gates up, and they threw it over the gates, and we ended up putting up fencing, and they threw it over the fence. We had to put fencing on the top, and it's just constantly going over there to clean up. We was over there a couple weeks ago, and they're cutting the fencing, going in, putting in graffiti, throwing in trash, and a lot of cleanup. There's needles out there cleaning up. So hopefully we'll be able to get the liquor license to make that store more profitable, to where we can go in and put in some more businesses that'll help the community there and help beautify that neighborhood. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Any other individuals who would like to speak in support? Please state your name, address, and you have 3 minutes.
Hello, I'm Dr. Rosie Kayla. My address is 932 Lasson Lane West, Madera, California, 93636. I'm Dr. Kayla's daughter. We've been making plans to expand along the property for over 10 years. We've talked about expanding it, like my dad said, bringing new businesses in. We wanted to focus on more smaller business with the barber shop, donut shop, and the pizza shop. But this does really put a wrench in our plans. Not only that, with everything going on to the north of the property, with all the maintenance we have to do, with the store closing, that's just only going to increase that. And we really do want to just contribute to the community more by having small business, decreasing that crime rate. We do worry that if that doesn't happen, it's going to be a target for the homeless population, which also increases the crime. So I hope you guys take that in consideration, and thank you very much for allowing us to speak today.
All right, thank you, Miss. My apologies, but you already had your chance to speak already. Sorry. You already had your chance to speak already, so, yeah. Please state your name, address, and you have 3 minutes.
Apologies. I'm not sure if I'm speaking during the right time. I'm a representative from the City Council, Councilmember Annalisa Perea, so hopefully I get a little bit more time. Regardless, I just want to say thank you to the commissioners for reviewing this item today. My name is Myra Campa, and I work as the district director for Councilmember Annalisa Perea, representing District 1, which the store is located in. I did want to just read quickly the letter of support Councilmember Perea sent to the commissioners, and just leave it with you guys. So conditional use permit application P24-01344 is before you on an appeal regarding an ABC license denial by the planning department. A's Family Market is in Council District 1. The purpose of this letter is to voice support for granting of the CUP with an ability to engage in beer and wine sales. This small business is not located near any sensitive use sites such as schools and primarily sells food and groceries. This is a family-owned small business, and I'm confident that with approval of this ABC beer and wine license, they will be able to keep their doors open and continue investing in revitalizing that corner of District 1. The applicant has indicated they will take mitigative steps to ensure compliance with all state and local laws. I'm confident in the applicant's ability to sell beer and wine in a responsible and reasonable manner. Thank you guys for your time today.
Question for you, really. Can I ask you a question? Since you you work in that office, but what, in regards to those 3 different findings, you're looking at a potential high crime rate, you're looking at oversaturation of these licenses. What's the response to that?
I think that I have to stay as close as possible to the letter. So, but just listening to what has been said today during the presentations and what has been said today by the applicant is saying that they have not had any calls themselves for emergency response, and they themselves admit that the prior owner of the business was irresponsible and wasn't hiring the correct people. But given the letter, it states that the council member has faith in this property in the property owner and in this business owner to conduct business in a safe safe manner. I understand the statistics were provided to you today. I guess the last thing I'll leave to answer your question is try to understand the land mass that those crime statistics cover, right? Not just this block or the block next to it. It covers a large span of land. So hopefully that answers the question.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it. We have any other individuals who would like to speak in support? We're going to go ahead and go to the any individuals who would like to speak in opposition? All right, we're going to close the public comments. I see that we have a representative from Fresno Police Department. May you please step up and give your input on this and kind of the crime rates around that area.
I'm Jennifer Horsford. I'm the captain for the Central Policing District. When we receive these applications, we review the statistics for locations within a 1 mile radius of the applicant location. Within a 1 mile radius of this location, there are 17 existing premises that have a type 20 or 21 license. Out of those 17 locations, we run their calls for service over a 24-month period. During that 24-month period, those locations generated 925 calls for service. We reviewed those calls for service and averaged it out to about 27 calls per month for each location, or annually for each location, and then each location caused roughly 2 calls for service per month. We further go through and look at the calls for service, specifically which calls at those type of locations which generated violent crime or weapons-related offenses. And of those, there were 275 total calls for service that were violent crime or weapons-related, roughly 30%. Our status is anything over 25% is deemed excessive. Therefore, that was the reason that we stated that it didn't meet the condition.
Questions?
Yeah. You may or may not know, but what percent of those, that's a lot of calls, you're right. What percent of those calls were pertinent to this piece of property, not necessarily just that store, but that development right there? Do you know what percent of the calls had anything to do with that location?
The calls that we look at are at other locations that have the same liquor license that they have. So we use the other locations within a 1 mile radius, average their calls for service to see what other locations operating under similar conditions are resulting in for crimes in that area.
Are the other locations general markets?
There are any licensee that has a type 20 or 21 license.
But you don't know if
they do include, let's see. Let me see if I have the list of locations. AM, PM, Quickie Marts. It also includes Vallarta, Handy Stop, the You Save Liquor, CVS Pharmacy, Toro Loco, Fresno, the Fair Price Food Store, Fast Trip, and several other locations along that line. So it's a mix of convenience stores and grocery stores.
Any questions? Go ahead.
Captain, my question is, so the alcohol usage, so am I hearing this correct, that the beer and wine, that's what causing the crime in that area?
I'm not saying that those specifically cause all the crime in the area, but what we did is looked at locations that had that type of licensing to see what calls for service are being generated by those type of facilities to make a comparison, because it wouldn't be fair to compare them to a bar or anything else that has a liquor license. You know, so we try to compare like with like.
Thank you.
Thank you, Captain, for your service, first of all. And can you describe just a little bit of the process, what any applicant that is trying to apply for a liquor license, in this instance, can you tell us if they had an opportunity, or do they have an opportunity to meet directly with someone with the Fresno Police Department?
The process is they file the application through the city of Fresno. We get forwarded over the application request, and then we do conduct our review. If we are going to issue a conditional use permit, then we do meet with the applicant or inspect the premises to ensure that they have all the things that are needed under the conditional use permit. But in this part, we never made it past the regulations for the RNMA.
Any other questions? All right, thank you. Appreciate it. Staff, do you guys have any comments or anything you want to say in regards to the comments from the public?
What was that question? Was it?
No, it's just, do you have any comments in regards to some of the comments made by the public?
No, I would just like to probably summarize that, you know, staff maintains that the project doesn't comply with the location restrictions, didn't qualify for any of the exceptions to those location restrictions, and staff maintains that the Planning Commission, or staff recommends the Planning Commission should deny the appeal, but also just remind the Commission that the Commission seeks to grant the request. The Commission would need to find that the project either complies with the location restrictions or qualifies for the exceptions to the location restrictions. So that could be exception A, or that it meets the definition of a full-service grocery store. And if that were to occur, the Commission would also need to amend the findings A, C, and D, I think it was, and adopt the environmental finding.
Okay, thank you. All right, what I'm going to do is we're going to start from right to left. Go ahead and if you can kind of comment on this item and your insight.
Let me think about it.
Yeah, okay.
I need like a minute.
Vice Chair Bray. Well, you want me to start first? I'll start first then, okay? All right, so I completely empathize with especially you know, the business owner, right? That's your day-to-day operations. And even with the landlord itself, right? I know you're reinvesting in the business, and both of you are really, truly reinvesting in the business too. You know, personally, it's difficult for me to approve the CUP just because when I'm looking at these findings, it's hard for me to try to say, well, it's not, the area is not saturated, right? It's not in a high crime area. It's very difficult for me because in order for us to be able to overrule the planning department, I need to be able to make these findings, okay? That's where I'm coming from. I think, if anything, I would want to see you to continue to make those improvements to the land. And I hope that just because you can't get this type 20, that's going to stop you, right? Because no matter what, if you own that property outright, if you own it outright, you don't have any kind of mortgage, it's going to stay fixed, right? So by him increasing his sales on this type 20, how's that going to affect you, right? Because you're not, unless you have ownership of that actual business itself, revenue coming in, it's not going to affect you. It's only going to affect him directly, okay? So to me, I'm in support of the planning department in regarding denying the CUP. Yeah. Vice Chair Bray?
Yeah, this is a tough one because I really commend you for trying to make something in that area that isn't there. And so that whole little shopping center that you're envisioning is really a great idea and something that we really need. And as far as the size, I remember when my grandma lived on Thorn Avenue and she went to a little market at Thorn and Olive. That's where she shopped. And it wasn't very big, but she got everything that she needed there. So I think the setup of that store it's not the right size, but it's definitely could provide things that the neighborhoods need without having to go to other stores. So it's a very hard decision, but I agree with Chair Vang that we can't make the exceptions. We can't, you know, it's oversaturated. That area is oversaturated. If there were already less liquor licenses there, I wouldn't see a problem with it, but we have to comply with the municipal code too, and I'm having a hard time finding a way to make the exceptions as much as I would like to.
Commissioner Diaz.
I definitely, as a business owner and property owner, I definitely could sympathize with you. I do know what you're coming from. As an accountant, as my point of view, I am with Mr. Paul. I understand all those property taxes. I understand all the improvements that you want to bring. I also understand how difficult it is to make a profit as it is. However, again, I'm just going to go ahead and say the same thing. It's very difficult to make the exceptions on this.
Commissioner Shergan.
You know, actually, my family had a lot of experience running like a convenience store, gas station, liquor store. It's a lot of work. I mean, as a child, I was 16 years old, going to Hoover High School. I used to work at a gas station, Fresno and Olive, just down the street. It does take a lot of work. I do sympathize, you know, with the business owners, but also, you know, hearing our law enforcement, police department, and the city personnels, just looking at the data, high crime rate. I mean, there's a lot of things that we have to look at. We also have to follow, people sitting here, we also have to follow a lot of regulations that we have to look into. So I'm going to actually, with this, even though I'm sympathize with the business owners, but I heard what my colleagues said, so I do agree with them as well. So I just have to stick with the city this time.
All right, so with that being said, I'll make a motion to go ahead and approve staff's recommendation to deny the CUP.
Second.
We have a second by Commissioner Diaz. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, say no. The denial is upheld. Thank you. Any reports from the Secretary? My apologies, but
No?
no.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yep.
Nobody can work, no car can work on a broken wheel. So the city in the future gonna deal with the garbage and not me.
Thank you. Appreciate it. We have any reports from the Secretary?
Good evening, Chair Vang and Commission. Just wanted to remind the Commission that coming up in May will be Historic Preservation Month. And as you recall, Historic Preservation Commission has always invited you to attend some of their events. We'll be sending out a calendar soon. Want to encourage you to get those, at least one thing on your calendar to attend something fun in the month of May. So hopefully at our next meeting, we'll have the calendars ready for you for the month of May. I will also note we have sent you notices of the West Area Neighborhood Specific Plan, the EIR, so give you a little bit of chance to start reading that. It will be coming back to you later this year. And we anticipate a couple of other larger items, some additional text amendments to improve accessibility for housing construction. So just be prepared in the next few months. We'll still continue to have relatively heavy meetings with lots of content. So thank you.
Sure sounds like fun. All right, do we have any unscheduled oral communication?
Yeah,
I see.
please. I want to add, I think a month ago or so, we talked about the roads. Can we get a presentation on, like, when, remember we kind of had a discussion about that? We haven't heard any update. We would like to hear from those personnels, like what is going on, especially within our city, please.
Yes, so we are looking forward to providing workshops on meetings that don't have long agendas, including one coming up, we're hoping at our next meeting on accessory dwelling units in the city's program. Israel is looking forward to presenting that, and then we're trying to find a time for Scott Mosier to attend to give a presentation on public works.
Awesome.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. All right, everyone, it's 7:21, meeting is adjourned. Have a wonderful evening.